Unscripted, a show about moms for moms.
Welcome to Mommyhood Unscripted. I'm so happy you're here and you found us. Today's episode is an important one. How often do you put your needs on the back burner? It's easy to do so since so many people depend on you. But what if I told you that it's actually imperative that you put yourself first? Well, get ready because this is a conversation yes, I'm talking to you need to hear. It's all about healthy habits that you can instill in your life, you can put into action so you can thrive. Kristen Reed is back on Mommyhood Unscripted to help us learn what we need to do and how we can do this. She is a nationally certified health and wellness coach and registered nurse, and she's the founder and CEO of the health and wellness practice, Nursing Your Way to Wellness. And that's what we're going to do for all the mamas out there listening today. Thanks for coming back on, Kristen. Great to see you.
Thanks, Nicole. It's so good to see you. I love being on.
Oh, I love this. You know, we connected. We're both moms. Our daughters are just around the same age. And, you know, you and I talk all the time about burnout. I'm just recently getting over the holiday burnout that I've never experienced before, having a 5 and 2-year-old. And it's, you know, I can't tell you how many friends that I talk to. And it's almost like they don't think it's possible for us to do something good for ourselves, you know, do something healthy, or that, you know, they feel like they don't have enough time. But we need to like press the pause button and go, whoa. No, you need to fill your cup first. And that was a hard lesson I had to learn, by the way, over the holidays.
Yes, it's so true. It's the cliche saying, right? If we can't pour from an open cup, and we know that if we burn ourselves out trying to take care of everyone else and do all the things, we have nothing left to give. And we hit that rock bottom. So it's imperative. It's not just nice to have. It's not just like a fluffy thing we talk about. It's really something we need to implement and bake into our everyday so that we ensure that it happens.
Absolutely. And, you know, we're talking about our health here. It's serious stuff, and life can happen. Other stressors can fall into the mix, you know, of just us trying to survive and with our families and whatever we're dealing with. So, you know, we're looking for some healthy habits so we can like take on this new year and be armed with knowledge, and also, you know, just feel better about ourselves and physically, mentally, just kind of feel more connected.
That's right. That's right. I think that using the new year as a fresh start, if you're catching this in real time, is the key. Let's capitalize on that momentum and the inspiration. So I'm happy to give like 5 healthy habits that I share with my health coaching clients that I try to practice. But keep this in mind with the filter of imperfect consistency. This is what I always talk about. Imperfect consistency. I care more personally and for everyone out there, all the moms out there, that you're showing up consistently, not that it looks Instagram worthy or the way it should or the way another mom's is looking. So that's the filter we're going to see all these through. So let's start at the beginning, Nicole, shall we?
Yeah, let's get right into this, Kristen.
All right, so let's jump in with your morning routine. Studies show that a strong morning routine can increase productivity and mood by up to 20%. So we all have a morning routine. It's just a matter of whether we like it or not. And is it serving you? So let's take an audit. Let's step back and say, what am I doing from the time my feet hit the floor in the morning until, you know, the kids are up and kind of, you know, it's chaos through the house, right? So I'm talking micro steps, micro habits. Can we have 5 minutes of mindfulness? Something that fills up your cup, whether it's journaling, reading, some breath work, some yoga. Sky before screens is another habit that I think is very powerful. Get outside, and if you're in the New England area like most of us are, even if it's not sunny right now, the sun can peek through the clouds. So get outside, get that fresh air, get that sun in your eyes, no glasses, no SPF, and let that regulate your hormones. What that's going to do is wake up our circadian rhythm to say it's daytime, and that can actually help you sleep better at night, which will be the last thing we talk about. So morning mindfulness, sky before screens, really being intentional about how you're starting your day with the question, how do I want to feel today? Let that be the barometer and your guide for the rest of your day. So that's number 1.
I love that. So mindfulness, all right. And it's so funny when I was working, third shift and really early mornings, when the sun would start to come outside, our show would pretty much be over, and I would go outside and try and, have my cup of coffee or eat a snack outside looking at the sun, because I was trying so hard to create a routine, but also tap into the morning in a way. And,
Yeah.
we get so crazy busy when we're trying to get the kids ready for school, we're trying to wake up and get ready for work ourselves, or what have you, that I think, you're saying it could even be 2 minutes outside, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. The studies show 12 minutes is ideal, but 2 minutes helps. So don't discount that little bit, those little micro habits we can do.
All right, so 12 minutes. All right, get outside, journal. How do I want to start my day? Being mindful, meditation. I love it. So that is a good
Yeah.
way to do your routine. Just the first thing in the
Yeah.
morning. No screens.
Yeah, try not to do screens, sky before screens, get outside. Don't let the world kind of tell you what your priorities are. Take it by the reins, be proactive.
I love that. And what about for food in the morning? Are there any healthy foods we should be
Yes.
reaching for? Protein.
Yes, that's perfect. That's perfectly leading me into number two, which is really trying to follow a whole food based diet and eating by my healthy plate template, which is protein, healthy fats, fiber, and greens. So the research is showing us that 30 grams of protein in the morning is really key to stabilizing our blood sugar all day long. And why we care about that as busy moms is because that keeps our energy nice and high and stable, our mood, our focus. It helps us sleep better. It really helps everything that we want. So 30 grams of protein, a savory breakfast in the morning, eating by the healthy plate template, and trying to avoid those processed packaged foods, like the handful of goldfish here, the half of the granola the bar there, and really sitting down to focus on your meals can make a big difference. So eating a whole food based diet can actually decrease chronic disease by up to 30%. Sadly, up to 70% of our calories these days is from ultra processed food. So
Oh,
again, all
wow.
these processed packaged things. So trying to shift little habits at a time. Maybe it's adding one more vegetable to your plate, or really just getting that breakfast keyed in for that 30 grams of protein to kickstart your day.
Do you recommend trying to find the time in your morning to actually make a whole breakfast? Or what if we don't have that time and we are looking for those quick fixes, but we're trying really hard to get the protein in?
Hey, if you have time to make a breakfast in the morning, I'm all for it. And hats off to you. But most of us are kind of running around. So, also another tip I like to tell my health coaching clients is set yourself up for success. So, in the morning for me, a protein smoothie is my go to. So,
Hmm.
I have smoothie prep cups set out, my cup is set out, my blender's ready to go. There's no negotiating. I'm decreasing decision fatigue. It's not an option. I just know that that's going to be my breakfast. It ensures I get my 30 grams of fiber a day, my 30 grams of protein per meal, all sorts of whole foods in there. I love doing hard boiled eggs, egg muffins that you can just prep ahead, easy to heat up right from the refrigerator. But something that you have prepped ahead is kind of key. Know yourself though, meet yourself where you are. If you have 5 minutes, you can, scramble some eggs or make a Greek yogurt parfait with stirring in some protein powder, some berries, great. But just know ahead of time what you're going to do.
That's great. And I love the smoothies too. We sometimes do the smoothies with our son, or, well, I mean, with our kids, but we were motivated to start smoothies because that was one of the only ways that he would get his vegetables. We'd put him in the
Yes.
smoothies in the morning and he liked it. Even though he started seeing
Yes.
kale and spinach in, he's like, well, it tastes
Yes.
good, so I guess I'm going to have this.
And Nicole, my 2-year-old, lives for her green smoothie. When she sees the blender going, she's like, "Mommy, give me my green smoothie."
Oh.
Another tip I love is make it fun. So with all this eating, with all the healthy plate template, all the protein, the fiber, make it fun and interesting. And a way to do that is the protein smoothie that you're already making, put it into popsicle molds and give it to your kids that way. They think they're
Oh.
having an ice cream treat and they're getting chock full of all the goodness. So another little way.
That's a great idea. And I always say,
Yeah.
our we're leading by example. Our children are looking to see what we're doing. So, if we're stressed out every single morning, if we're not eating, if we're eating, reaching for unhealthy
Right.
snacks and things who's to say that our kids may not pick up those habits either? So in those moments when you're struggling to think about, I'm doing this for myself. I don't know why, but so many moms especially have a really hard time with that, like this selfless thing, right?
Yes.
We don't give ourselves permission to do something good for ourselves. Think about your kids at least. I'm doing this for my kids, that's kind of, if you need to reframe.
Yeah. That's right. And to your point, modeling, research shows that modeling is like the number one thing we can do for our children. We don't have to talk about it as much, but let's walk our talk. Let's show them. And cooking more at home, just cooking meals at home is one of the best, easiest ways to improve our nutrition and therefore our health. So get the kids in the kitchen, cook things at home. It's automatically way healthier than eating out at restaurants.
Mm-hmm. We have one of those stools that we put up along the counter, so Emmy can now climb up in it and kind of get all involved. And then by proxy, George is like, well, I want to do some stuff in the kitchen. So we're definitely cutting out, takeout and eating out a lot more and trying to get more involved in the kitchen together. But it's hard, though. It is really hard.
Yes. Yeah. Baby steps. One meal a week, just, meet yourself exactly where you are. Whatever you can get in, it'll amplify from there.
Absolutely. Yeah. You don't have to be like Miss Betty Crocker at home, 5 or 6 meals a week with the kids or anything. It's if you can even implement one change into your daily routine, this is going to be huge, right?
And I actually I actually encourage that one habit a week, especially in the new year, for those of us who are very ambitious and wanting to do all the things. Focus on changing kind of like your role, your standards versus like having goals and resolutions and habits. Kind of change who you are, who you want to be. This is who I am. I cook easy, healthy meals they don't take long, they're not complicated. We keep it really simple, right? So focusing on one thing at a time.
I love that. Now, let's talk about hydration, because I have a feeling that's probably on your list.
It is.
And I
I love my hydration.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm so bad with water, Kristen.
What's that?
I'm so bad with water. I'm one of those people where I don't like water. I know it sounds so weird, but like I need flavoring or something in it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good news is that you have lots of options. So we can add things in. A great option for that is green tea. The ECGC in green tea is great for metabolism, polyphenols, antioxidants. So green tea is a great option. Adding in, if you do sparkling water, by adding in fruits or herbs. I love doing cucumber, mint, even chunks of ginger. And then my electrolytes. I love electrolytes. They have made such an impact on my well-being as well as my clients. So electrolytes have magnesium, calcium, potassium, etc. But they are really, really effective for helping boost metabolism, focus, energy, sleep. So adding in a scoop of electrolytes to your water, being really careful of the sugar content in there, but a scoop of that a day, and really trying to get at least half your body weight in ounces of water a day. Keep your water bottle with you everywhere. I have like 3, kind of like one in my desk, one downstairs, one in my car. So I'm always exposed to it. What we see, we do. So we want to have it visually available for us. And then again, get creative with what you're, doing with your water.
What's going to make you want to reach for it to actually drink it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because if you don't like plain water, let's not willpower our way through. Let's make it fun and try different things.
Absolutely. And is it true that dehydration can actually mask hunger?
Yeah, hunger can actually mimic dehydration. So a lot of times if we feel hungry, we're actually dehydrated and we should have gotten that first. So if you feel really hungry and you've just eaten, number one, your meal might not be balanced. You might not be having enough fats, fiber, protein. But number 2, you could be dehydrated. So I always recommend drinking a glass of water. Going back to our morning routine, I love starting the day with a cup of warm lemon water. Not only does that kind of boost your hydration right from, fasting and sleeping overnight, but that lemon is really good for detoxification, boosting metabolism, immunity. Right now, we all need the immune support. So that's another great option. So right when you get up, make that a non-negotiable.
I started the day with that because I knew I was talking to you, and I said, I'm going to try a new habit. But here's the joke. I don't know if anyone out there also can relate to this. I'm one of those coffee drinkers, tea drinkers, where I'm heating it up in the microwave like 5 or 6 times a day. So I actually just finished it, albeit it was 7 hours later, Kristen. But I did start it. Does it count?
This is our magic middle. We're gonna meet ourselves exactly where we
Okay.
are. All that I care about is you get the water in.
There you go. As long as you get it in. No, that's
That's
important.
right. That's right.
And yeah, and we definitely want to stay away from those sugary drinks too, which I think most women at this point, I mean, we know that soda's not good for you, you know.
Yeah. So a can of soda can have up to 40 grams of sugar, which is 10 teaspoons of sugar. And if I had my little model, I would show you 10 teaspoons. We would never think of adding that to our food. But when it comes in liquid form, sometimes we just kind of forget the mocha lattes, the, fancy Starbucks pink drinks and all these things that can really add up. So not only is it really sugar heavy, it's going to drain your energy and do the opposite of what we want. For coffee drinkers, I always say hydrate before you caffeinate. Coffee, those moms who are running on coffee, coffee is very acidic and it can be really harsh on our adrenal glands when you first wake up. So at least have your warm lemon water, but even better is if you can have your food first and have your coffee with your food. So kind of again, those little micro shifts can make a big difference.
Wow, I all things like I did not know about. That's so great. And when we're talking about hydrating in the morning, that lemon water can that count as that cup of water
Oh
before the
yeah.
coffee?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
great.
absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, I mean, moms move. There's no secret about that. We're busy. We're always in transit, as I like to say. I'm always in transit. But moving,
Exactly.
right? But moving for ourselves and doing something intentional like weight training or taking a walk, that is
Yeah.
so crucial. Like, we need to do more of that, right?
Yes, exactly. I like to say, again, set yourself up for success, plan ahead. Where can you get in that movement? For most of us, we need to be building lean muscle mass to kind of work against the sarcopenia or loss of muscle mass that we'll be experiencing starting at age 35. So we want to build in strength training wherever we can. And I'm not talking about a 45-minute boot camp class. I'm talking, a good 20-minute strength training session 3 days a week is all we really need. And then walking more. Midday movement breaks. I love recommending this as well. I'm someone who sits at my desk to see clients, on Zoom all day long. So taking that 5 or 10 minutes, do some squats, do some jumping jacks, do some push-ups, all those little kind of exercise snacks, they all add up, but make that foundation, put it in your calendar, put your workouts in of having that strength training in there so that it's a non-negotiable. It's a meeting with yourself.
I love that. My co-anchor and I, she's super into health and wellness, and we've been seeing the trend on social media of taking the squats, like 10 squats every hour. And if you do
Yes.
that 8 times a day, we ended up doing the math. It's like 27,000 squats a year. So we're
Yeah.
trying to be more conscientious of that. And, it helps having someone, to hold you accountable too. Yeah, I try and chat with my mom, even though we don't live close, a
Yes.
girlfriend. I've been trying to start like a mom's walking club, like with my friends in town, just something
Yeah.
where we can do something together. Cause I feel like sometimes, well, I know I operate where I'm stronger when I'm in a group setting like that when it comes to exercise.
I think that can make all the difference, Nicole. I love that you're doing these initiatives. Get other moms involved. Have a partner, have an accountability partner, a health coach, a mom, a sister, someone who is there rooting you on when it gets hard, because that's real life, right? We want to meet you exactly where you are. Work smarter, not harder. With the walks, also, I love my weighted vest. I love my ankle weights. So even if I'm just kind of cleaning up the house and doing laundry and cleaning up dinner, I'll throw my ankle weights on. But on my walks, I'll
Really?
throw my weighted vest on. So again, any of these little things where we can be like working smarter, I'm all for.
Weighted vest. I love that.
Start with 10% of your body weight. So if you're, 150 pounds, get a 15-pound vest. You'll get used to it. It feels, you just kind of, it's like throwing on your jacket, but it's going to build that lean muscle mass to protect our bone health and build that muscle mass, which helps us burn calories, helps us prevent disease, gives us more energy. That lean muscle mass really acts like a sugar sponge. So it soaks up blood sugar from the food that we eat. The key is keeping our blood sugar nice and stable for all the things that we want. So the weighted vest is an easy option that I recommend all the time.
Wow. And can you just order that online? Is it easy to
Yeah.
find?
Everywhere. Amazon, everywhere has them. Try
That's
a few if
great.
it feels a little bulky to you, especially if you're larger chested. Try a few, but that's going to be one of our mission is to make one for larger chested women. But anyways, I
Yeah.
digress. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. So get one, get a cute color, whatever you want, but wear that on your walks. It'll make a big difference.
That's mommy's armor, kids.
That's right. That's right. It used to be for the military, and now we're adapting it. We've got it.
There you go. I mean, well, we're soldiers anyways at home, so it's apropos, right? It all makes sense.
100%. The original soldiers.
Exactly. Oh, and what else can we do, to kind of incorporate into our daily routine, just like to boost our health and mental and
Yeah.
physical well-being?
Yeah, let's kind of end the 5 steps with sleep, really prioritizing that bedtime routine. So we bookend our day. We talked about really creating that mindful morning routine. Now let's talk about closing out the day. Having a bedtime routine just like we do for our kids. We brush our teeth, we take a bath, we read a book, we go to bed. Ours has to be the same thing. So we can shift from that parasympathetic go, 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 fight or flight all day. Most of us are on 24/7. We want
Hmm.
to shift into that rest and digest. So being mindful of something that, oh, sorry, so 3, 2, 1 is something that I love to recommend. For 3 hours before bed, stop eating. 2 hours before bed, try to get off screens. I know that's so hard. I personally really struggle with that, but just try little micro changes. And 1 hour before bed, try to do something mindful. So again, something like we talked about in the morning, some kind of breath work. Maybe you do the Insight Timer app where you can listen to a guided meditation, even if it's on in the background while you're, tidying up the house. Reading a book, that's really good because it gives you something to do with your hands. It gets you off the screens, but something that's mindful for yourself. I love a gratitude journal. It kind of forces my brain to look for what went well during the day, that neuroplasticity where our brain can change. So that's my personal habit, but have a bedtime routine. It doesn't have to be long. Again, we're talking 5, 10 minutes here, and then stay consistent with the time that you're in bed. So you're getting at least that 8 hours of sleep in a cold, dark room. So that is going to be huge for that restorative rest to keep us doing all the things we want to do, taking care of all the people, doing all the things.
Yeah, it makes so much sense why bookending your day, with those, I love the gratitude, number one. What a nice way to reflect on your day, even if you had a really, really bad day, kids were
Exactly.
tantruming,
Yeah,
work was hard, what have you. It also kind of like recenters you, right? Like before we go to sleep and kind of forces us to look at, no, there are always some things we can be thankful for, even on the worst day that we have.
that's right. And that's what keeps us going is like finding those little things, even the most, minor specific thing. That's what keeps us going. So look for those things, jot down a list, a bullet point of 5 things. And I think that makes a big difference in your perspective and your mindset.
Hmm. And then the book thing, I know I love reading, but every time I pick up a book, I start to get pretty tired when I'm reading in bed. So that's kind of
Yeah,
like my go-to, and but
me too.
it's crazy though the time that you're trying to find to even like read a book though or do some of these things, but yet they kind of fall in to helping aid us in falling asleep. What would you recommend for some moms that are, here, I'll give you an example. My kids, even though I've tried to get them to go to bed a lot earlier, I have some friends who they have like 6 o'clock bedtime kids. And my
Right.
kids are not 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, sometimes not even 8 o'clock. It's very hard. So when I got off my old shift, when I was waking up at 2:30 in the morning, and now I found all this time at night, I realized that, oh, I can't stay up till midnight every night. That's not conducive to, even if I'm getting 6, 7 hours of sleep, that's not good for you. So what would you recommend for someone, like I was finding myself in this situation where you want to find that time for yourself that's so sacred and so important at the end of the day, but maybe your
Yeah.
kids' schedules just are not aligning with that time that maybe some of your other friends have.
Yeah, if you could just hold a mirror to me, that's exactly what I've been dealing with. So I'm living this with all of you. Here's what I say because I literally have been trying ever since the last 2 weeks or so to do this exact thing. I'm in bed by 10 o'clock. I was doing like midnight, 12:30. This is ridiculous. So this is the endless struggle, right? Like we finally get time to ourselves. The house finally quiet. And now we just want like time for us to do whatever we want to do. This is where I say find your magic middle. Pick 2 or 3 items or things or tasks that make you feel like the best version of yourself, that really fill you up, and do those, and then have a hard stop. So for me, it was like reviewing emails, writing some client notes, reading some of my book, doing my gratitude, and then bed. The other things had to kind of fall off the list because I had to have that hard stop. It was more important for me. It is more important for me, present tense, to get that sleep so I can feel the energy to do all the things the next day. So meet yourself in the middle, find that magic middle, the few 2 or 3 tasks that you want to do most, and then have that hard stop of a bedtime. I'll set my alarm, and I'll title it on my phone like bedtime and little emojis, because otherwise I find myself just 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes, and then I'm up till midnight. So
Right.
yes.
No, that's important. And, prioritizing things that, even though we know sleep is obviously important for us, but, that was something that some people have struggled with when they have kids, right? So it kind of takes a back seat even. We have to sometimes put these hard things first and prioritize them, and everything else will probably fall into place. And I always tell parents too that, our kids are not going to be this age forever. We're going to get some more time back, right?
Yeah. This too shall pass. This is temporary, and then we'll miss it.
I know, exactly. And then we'll have to do a podcast on empty nesting, right?
That's right, exactly. But yeah, all about the small, consistent habits, that imperfect consistency. Try one new habit at a time. Meet yourself exactly where you are. Try to overhaul everything, and then have that accountability partner. Have someone who's going to be there cheering you on and pushing you along, to align with how you want to feel, to be your truly best self. That's what it's all about.
Well, thank you so much, Kristen, for being, the big champion here, trying to help all of us moms succeed and thrive with these healthy habits. We so appreciate your time. And I do want to ask you, where can we send people to get some more information?
Yes, thank you so much. So you can go to my website, which is nursingyourwaytowellness.com. You can book a complimentary call there if you're interested in health coaching, wellness programming, anything like that. On social media, I'm at Nursing Your Way to Wellness, and feel free to reach out, chat with me. I'm always happy to meet moms, support you, you can ask me any questions you have. If you have a habit you're trying to practice, I want to cheer you on. So reach out to me there, follow me for inspiration, and look forward to meeting you all.
All right. Thank you so much, Kristen. So everyone, just a little recap. We're going to set a supportive morning routine. We're going to eat whole foods, more water and less sugar. We're going to get up and we're going to move more, and we're going to commit to that bedtime routine. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, Kristen.
Got it. You got it. Got it. We're doing it together.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Kristen. And thank you, everyone, for listening and watching Mommyhood Unscripted. We so appreciate you here. And remember, mamas, you are doing great.